232 God's infinite goodness. Presence of God. O my God, you alone are good, deign to clothe me with your goodness. Meditation 1. When Moses asked God to show him his glory, God replied, I will show thee all good. Acts 33,109, as if to say that his glory is infinite goodness, the good that he possesses in such plenitude that all good is in him, and no good exists independently of him. God possesses good, not because he has received it from anyone, but because he himself is, by his nature, the sovereign good, because his being is infinite goodness. If creatures are good, they are so only because God has communicated to them a little of his goodness. Of itself, the creature cannot even exist, therefore it cannot possess any good of its own. That is why Jesus said to the young man, who had called him good, Master, why callest thou me good? None is good, but one, that is God. Mk 10:18. Not even Jesus as man possessed goodness as his own, but he possessed it only because the divine nature, which was hypostatically united to his human nature, communicated it to him. Only of God can it be said that he is good, in the sense that he is goodness itself, that goodness belongs to him by nature, as divinity belongs to him by nature, and just as it is impossible for his divinity to be lessened, so it is impossible for his goodness to be lessened. Heaven, earth, and the ages will pass away, but the goodness of God will never pass away. Man's wickedness may accumulate sin upon sin, evil upon evil, but overall, God's goodness will remain unchangeable. The shadow of evil will not mar it. Instead, God, who is always benevolent, will bend over the evil to change it into good, and to draw a greater good from it. Thus infinite goodness stooped over man, the sinner, and made an immensely superior good come from Adam's fall, the redemption of the world through the incarnation of his only begotten Son. This is the distinctive character of God's goodness, to will the good, only the good, even to the point of drawing good from evil. 2. God, who is supremely good in himself, is also good in all his works. From him, infinite goodness, only good works can come. And God saw all the things that he had made, and they were very good. Gen 1:31. Thus Holy Scripture concludes the account of creation. Everything that has come from the hand of God bears the imprint of his goodness. The sun which illumines and warms the earth is good, the earth which brings forth flowers and fruit is good, the sea is good, the sky is good, the stars are good, everything is good, because it is the work of God, who is essential, infinite, and eternal goodness. But God has willed that among his creatures there should be some, such as man, who besides being good, because he created them so, might also be good because of the adherence of their free will to that goodness which he has diffused in them. This is the great honor given by God to man. Not only has he created him good, as he created heaven and earth good, but he has desired that man's goodness should result from the free concurrence of his will, as if God made him owner of the goodness he had placed in him. This is just why God has given man the great gift of liberty. See, then, how far you withdraw from goodness, when you use your free will to choose not good, but evil. Consider the enormous difference between you and God. God is infinite goodness, to the extreme of drawing good even out of evil, whereas your profound malice is capable of changing even what is good into evil, of making use of the good of your liberty, to follow your egoism, your pride, your self-love. Yet, it would not be hard for you to be good if you adhered to that interior impulse toward good which God has placed within you, if you allowed the good He has infused into your heart to develop. God created you good, He desires you to be good. It is true that your malice, the consequence of sin, is great, but His infinite goodness immensely surpasses it. He can cure it, or destroy it altogether, provided you want Him to do it, and trust in His goodness. Colloquy. If a soul understood your goodness, O God, it would be moved to work with all its strength, to correspond to it. It would run quickly to meet you, who are pursuing it, and entreating, "Open to me, my friend." What advantage does a soul receive from understanding your goodness? The advantage of being clothed with your goodness. Oh, if we would only open our eyes, and see how great it is! But sometimes we are blind, and do not see. The precious blood of Christ is the only remedy which can open, not only our eyes, but also our heart, and make our soul understand the immensity of God's goodness. O my God, you reveal your infinite goodness to me, as a great river flowing over the earth, into whose waters all creatures are immersed and nourished like the fish in the sea. I am absorbed in the contemplation of this great river, but when I look around and see human malice, so opposed to your goodness, I grieve exceedingly. O infinite goodness, my soul desires to honor you in two ways: first by praise, recounting your splendors, thanking you, blessing you unceasingly for all the gifts and graces you are always bestowing, and narrating all your grandeurs, and then by my works, not spoiling your image in me, but keeping it pure and spotless as you created it from the beginning. Compare Saint Mary Magdalene Dei Pazzi. O Lord, I want to trust always in your goodness, which is greater than all the evil we can do. When, with full knowledge of ourselves, we desire to return to friendship with you, you remember neither our ingratitude nor our misuse of the favors you have granted us. You might well chastise us for these sins, but you make use of them only to forgive us the more readily, just as you would forgive those who have been members of your household, and who, as they say, have eaten of your bread. See what you have done for me, who we read of offending you. Before you ceased forgiving me, you are never weary of giving, and never can your mercies be exhausted. Let us not grow weary of receiving. T.J. Life, 19.